May we humbly bow down to all graces of all Buddha, Mahabuddhas, Pacceka Buddhas, Mahapacceka Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Mahabodhisattvas, all the great gurus, great masters, the grace of Luang Por Posi Surya Khemarato, all the Buddha seeds, all the embodiments of the great perfections, the grace of fathers and mothers of all lifetimes. Please preside over this forgiveness statement and declaration of renunciation and revocation of all desires and expectations within the body and the mind, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, sounds, smells, taste, touches, and shapes, all the sensual pleasures, enjoyment, being carried away by any state of mind, by sustaining it, maintaining it, drowning in it, dwelling in it. We would like to declare renunciation and revocation of all deluded desires and expectations within worldly habits or even spiritual habits of trying to achieve, to attain, to obtain anything from the nature of mindfulness, concentrations, contemplations, meditative absorption, spiritual insights, meditative powers, supernatural powers, authoritative powers, smartness, quickness of the mind, wisdoms, intellects, intelligence. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all verbals that has been used with the habits of grasping, trying to gain, to obtain, to get, to be, to have, to become, or not to gain, not to get, not to have, not to be, not to become. With all the projections, creating causes and effect, misleading anyone, misguiding anyone to circle around opinions and meanings. We would like to declare cancellation of all fixation to opinions and meanings that don't purify themselves. All the usage of words that don't give ending in any conversations, which creates causes and effects, karma and its difficulties, circling in all those habits of using opinions and meanings, which are like a loop, endless, circling, unending. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all prayers, well-wishing, goodwill, good intentions or bad intentions, curses, or any prayers to bribe any deities or any holy beings, or even the grace of the triple gems. These are the conditions and turning into obligations and commitments towards one another and having to pay back to one another as they are debts of karma and debts of gratitude. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all vengeance, revenges, all the harbor thoughts to get back to someone, and all the relationships with the fixation and delusive attachment towards one another, among fathers and mothers, sons and daughters, husbands and wives, friends and enemies, relatives, those kind supporters, gurus and masters, teachers, societies, nations, homelands, and all the connections in the world and samsara, which are just temporary existing and relating through causes and effects, through debts of karma, debts of gratitude, lifetimes after lifetimes. And from now on, all the opinions and meanings that we have been fixated and habitually use them to be removed and cancelled when they are not used with self-purification. May we all humbly request for a forgiveness from our graces for all the rejections we have used towards them, towards their words, and ignoring their words, ignoring the declaration of the noble truth from them, turning the head away from them, leading anyone to be far away from them, chasing anyone who has great bad fortune far from their homeland, from their living places, facing difficulties, causing oneself to wander around homeless. All the looking down towards the noble truth, looking down towards anyone's practices, whether it is karma or not. All the judgments that have made, opinions and meanings that have been used, lifetimes after lifetimes, we humbly ask for forgiveness towards all graces and towards anyone, and all the physical, mental, and verbal behaviors which has been created causes and effects, debts of karma and debts of gratitude, to be liberated from now on, to be released, so that there is no more conditions, no more obligations, commitments, and dragged by one's own assumed karma, causes and effects. May all cases of karma, of hurting and harming anyone, physically, mentally, verbally, torturing them, chaining them, putting them in limited places, to be forgiven from now on. And all the quarrels, arguments that we have made towards the graces in front and behind the back, to be request for forgiveness. Any karma of adding on anyone's mind, controlling their mind, hypnotize them, making them do whatever according to one's own mental power, to be removed and cancelled, and to be request for forgiveness from now on. All the usage of black magic in the past by Taba, power of austerity, power of meditation, power of concentration, be from now on removed and forgiven. May all cases of karma be released and liberated from now on and forever for everyone. Ahosi, Ahosi, Ahosi. Let's open up by the foundation of everything. Everything is from not attached to the non-attachment itself. Not being conditioned by naming, identifying, labeling, widen out further and further, scatter this essence without focuses on anything particularly. No targets, no destinations. In the way of giving, sharing the infinite force to all and everything, together with everything and beyond everything. Give time to scatter it as giving, as sharing. And when we give time for this infinite force through this great compassion, it's possible to purify and cleanse the mind, whether it's from this vessel or the externals. And without having to see the outcome of what has been sharing. The immense power of whatever that is given now through the foundation of that which has nothing in anything. It will dissolve all types of habits of labeling, naming, identifying as the infinite force will penetrate through all and everything simultaneously without projection of the mind, of the labeling mind. Therefore, everything that has been touched and reached will be dissolved its projections, its labeling, its judging, its naming, and the opinions and meanings that has been used with the habits of labeling will be faded and dissolved even right now the harms of using opinions and meanings or labeling or judging or naming or giving value and significance to anything is that it's gonna bounce back to oneself in the way of looping, circling in using it endlessly in everything. We all know that, and we all have such a habit. That is the harm in such a habit of labeling, judging, naming, giving values and significance. It doesn't benefit anyone, because that is samsara in itself. That is a realm of existence in itself. From the lowest realms to the highest realms, including the middle realms. To name it is to name from the hell realms to the human realms to the Brahma realms and Deva realms, the angel realms, hells and heavens, and the human worlds. These are from judgments, labels. That's why they exist. And that's why it costs them the payback, the bounce back in difficulties. They become the obligations. They become the commitment. They become choices and choosing options. They branch out endlessly. They branch out in the way that is causing oneself to be deluded to it. It's assumed up with illusions. If there is no purification in it, everything is from that which has nothing to do with anything. Everything is by the foundation of that which has nothing to do with letting go or not letting go, grasping or not grasping, attachment or detachment, or non-attachment. So let's scatter the infinite force in order to help unwind in samsara from all intentions to label anything. Intentions to name anything habitually. The bounce back is harmful, is not beneficial for anyone, including oneself, and especially oneself. That's the bounce back is immense. And it can mislead anyone endlessly to circle around labeling, judging, naming, giving values we use labeling in the way that it can purify itself, and in moderation. When we need to use, it is in moderation. And the guidance of the mind with the infinite force of the great compassion will guide the way instead of the habitual mind of labeling. This will help unwind all types of arguments, quarrels, war. Thoughts recalls feelings, emotions when they are branched out. It is endless. And they always have the backup of desire, delusions, and delusive attachment. And they labels, they judge, they have names and values. That's harmful because they bounce back to oneself endlessly. That is the crystallization of the mind with labels. And it's become like the attachment, the fixation to such thoughts recalls memories, feelings, emotions. It's become the way that I have my own purpose, my life's purpose. But everything is coming and going. No meaning in it at all. So even the life purpose also doesn't mean anything. It's coming and going too. Right now, it's dissolved. It dissolved its intention to proceed itself with all type of branches out in its labels. It doesn't mean anything. Let's proceed simultaneously by the foundation of everything is from not grasping for the non-grasping itself, not involved with the non-involvement itself. Disengage from disengagement itself. Open far and wide, limitlessly. Beyond knowing or not knowing, seeing or not seeing, looking or not looking. All purposes are dissolved right now. All intentions are dissolved right now. All concerns and worries are dissolved right now. All the opinions and meanings and labeling and judging, desires, delusive attachments and delusions are dissolved right now. All patterns, habits, worldly or spiritually, are dissolved right now. Widen out further and further. Give time to share this infinite force simultaneously with everything. Each time that you scatter this infinite force into universes and beyond, give time. Give time. Share it for a while. Not just a few minutes. Let's proceed simultaneously like this. So samsara can be shifted. Cut through altogether all the deluded knowing or not knowing. Giving ending to the branches of the mind. Ending the ending itself. It can end the branches of the mind. Through the infinite force of the great compassion that is assumed up moment to moment, moment to moment, until it's the nature. Automatic. Constantly use the reminders. Self-purified reminders. Everything is from not attached to the non-attachment itself. Not involved within the non-involvement itself.